Fresco.
Anyway.
Well, we'll talk a lot about Fresco. Uh, we're talking with the band Space Dust Surfer. Uh, it's that song Fresco. I was personally involved in it, so I can't talk about it from a neutral standpoint. But it was a wonderful song, and we'll talk about that. We both did that. He played the music, but I was in the room. And believe me, that wasn't no small thing. Anyway, we had a good time doing it. It was a fun 5 minutes of your life, and it was recorded, so it's something that's not even just music. So it's a vibe, it just the whole package. Anyway, so we're going to talk about that at the end. We don't because we're mostly attached to that song, and I am Chad Norris, and he is Space Dust Surfer, the band.
Yeah. Currently only has one member, but
And has no name.
I mean I have a name, but it's not really important.
So you're not pushing your name. You're Space Dust Surfer, all the promo stuff. How do you do interviews? What do they call you?
We are Space
What do I
Dust.
call you?
Just call me the Surfer.
The Surfer. All right, so the Surfer is here with me. I am Chad Norris. Endless Adventures has sent me the drudgery of going to a studio, and we're talking. And we do this a lot, and this is our little chat tonight. But since this is official business and it's tax deductible, I got to ask you some questions. You mind?
Not at all.
Okay, so I am Chad Norris, and he is Space Dust Surfer, SDS for short, just so we can have a conversation.
Let's go.
All right, so, one thing that is that I know you, and so that's why I'm asking this question. How happy are you with your music right now?
It's kind of a funny question to answer, but I don't know. I guess I'm happier than I've ever been. I'm not really sure how you know if you're happy with something. Uh, I don't know. I always see the endless room for growth. Uh, I feel like I'm a mediocre guitar player at best, but
What makes you happy musically then?
well, one thing that always has kind of struck me in the Sistine Chapel, in the painting, I guess it's like the main part. I don't really know.
Yeah, but okay, yeah,
But it's is it Adam? I think
yeah.
he's like
He's
laid
doing
out.
the creation
Yeah.
scene, Adam and Eve, something like that, and
And
it's a church.
yeah. But anyway, so in that painting, God is stretching out his finger,
Oh
like
yeah.
as far, stretching out really hard, and Adam's just lazily got there. He's got his finger like halfway cocked. So I guess what makes me happy is when I feel like I've stretched my finger out just a little bit, and touched the divine in a way. So
So is
that's
that true in every depiction, or just the one you saw?
that's just the one.
Because that's really lame, isn't it? Don't be that guy.
Don't be that
When
guy.
when the owner of the universe sticks his hand out
Yeah.
as hard as he can,
Yeah.
do a little more than a limp.
Like literally, if he just stuck his finger out like fully erect,
He could have
he'd
everything.
be touching his finger. So like I feel like I've accomplished
So
something.
we touched a finger, or we stretched as far as we could. We felt like, and so something happened. And so take it what you will. The universe was revealed, as far as we're concerned. Very much of it was revealed that night. So that's a fact. And you can't talk about Fresco without how it was made.
Well, that was kind of what made it.
No, so you talked about, the atom. So what do you mean by that? Like, just try a little harder for something
No,
you
it's not
want?
even trying a little harder. Really, it's really like if you think about where art actually comes from in its essence. Uh, sorry, I don't know. It's kind of hard to phrase it exactly, but it's not about trying harder. No, it's about just opening yourself to the possibility that there's somebody reaching out to you. Maybe, I don't know.
Exactly. Well
Uh,
put. That's well put right there. That's you can't say it better than that. Now, that question again, the Sistine Chapel. Are you adding to it that Adam is seeing this beautiful art and all this encouragement to stick the finger out, and he doesn't do it?
I look at it more as like it's not. It's more of a metaphor for like
Apathy.
yeah, and like I think what he was trying to say in that painting is we're all just mere men.
You know
It's
what?
all hold on. It's all we ever were, and all you ever will be. But you can be more if you just try to be. Just put
Right.
just
Give it a go.
yeah, just recognize that there's other possibilities out there. And so I look at it as like
That's real. That's it. Right. Say that again.
I don't remember
Just
exactly how
recognize there's other possibilities out there.
right. And
That's magic enough.
and so a lot of artists talk about being in a divine space. I remember I was listening to a painter, and he was talking to a priest, and he said that feeling you feel when you're praying, I feel it when I'm painting. You know, and so I think a lot of art is spiritual and divine. I think it's like the connection. It's what kind of separates us. Not separates isn't even the right word, but what the uniqueness that language gives us is. So I like. So you asked me what makes me happy musically. It's when I feel like I'm communicating with the divine.
Shouldn't you want to communicate with the divine? It says there's nothing better. It's what the word means. Look up the word. Okay?
Well, the cool thing is once you start, and again, it gets back to once you reach out a little bit, you see it everywhere. Basically, the ultimate victim of the human tendency, because everybody has a tendency to just not want to reach out because reaching out is difficult. It's unknown, it's confusing. You leave the realm of the rational and go into the realm of the absurd.
So you writing a song now? That's kind of how you do songs. You do put a lot of thought into your songs.
I actually don't.
Oh, you just put a lot of thought into this
No.
Michelangelo.
Yeah, that's just like a general worldview. When I'm playing, I actually really have no emotions.
You say that was your worldview. Now that picture.
Just about every day.
Yeah. Interesting. And so that got you probably thinking about the classical piano and led to some serious training, and you know how to play almost every instrument. You've 5 years.
No, not at all. No.
5 years of pretty intense study has really paid off. Or was it more than 5? How long you been really starting and getting better?
I would say it's really only about 3, 4. I don't know. I've owned the piano for 5 years.
And you knew how to play it perfectly.
Oh no.
No, I mean you used it. You know how to play it usefully. You know how to do a lot with it.
I'm an okay piano player.
Fine. Then you went to guitar, and the first thing was acoustic, and you're a good composer. You have good musical taste, and so that's where Fresco comes in. That was the ultimate in taste from a guy who literally chose from the whole universe, and he picked those jewels, and it was a beautiful necklace. I wish you made a 40-minute version. If you could add 2 more minutes to Fresco.
I mean, that's what I was playing at the beginning. I don't know. It's kind of hard because the song is 2 parts. Except this thing. And that just kind of repeats, and it's not. I don't know. I don't play it exactly that way every time. It's sometimes I. And then it's got this kind of thing like. I don't know. That kind of stuff happening, and I don't know.
Okay, so that just shows you how you know how to use the apparatus. But what you have is you get a vibe and you energize it into the notes and you play
Usually
with
I
it.
start off with one thing, because I record everything alone, I don't have a group or anybody I really jam with regularly, and so I usually start out. I get something. I usually start with guitar. Sometimes I start with bass. It's usually guitar or bass. Sometimes piano. Very rarely do I start with piano. I find when I play piano, I tend to really fill it out, and I don't leave a lot of room for other things. But anyway, so I start with something, and I'll jam with it for a little bit until I feel like I like it, and then I'll do a take. It usually takes 2 or 3. Sometimes you get it right the first time. With the Fresco, we actually I just did the take once, I think, and then usually I try to add something to it, usually another guitar part or bass. This with the Fresco song, we added a second guitar. We actually, I don't know, when we were recording it, we were tripping on LSD though, so we
You
got
shouldn't have told them that.
we
You were. I.
we got off on a little tangent after we recorded that, and we just kind of, I don't know, we were playing, I don't know, some unusual, basically, pushing.
Both of us were seeing an unlimited possibilities
Yeah.
that we really believed were there, and the music kind of fit in that little bubble, and it was there, and you can't ever throw it away.
We recorded that first guitar part, that thing. We recorded that, and then that just we saved an open new file and just kind of messed around for almost 3 hours, and completely forgot what I even recorded. Honestly, I had no idea, and we kind of run out of ideas, and so I was like, well, let's just go back to that. I remember I kind of liked it a little bit, and we went back to it, and I heard it, and I immediately jammed with it. And the first note I played was beautiful, and I was like, okay. And so I just kind of played through it like halfway. And I was like, okay, I know what I'm doing. And I put the headphones on, and then I just played it, and it brought back a memory. Like while I was playing it, I was in a memory of another LSD trip in the middle of a raging storm, and I remember I had stepped out into the storm and the rain was washing over me, and it seemed like the ground was flying up, kind of, and just the energy was just everywhere. Just so much energy was everywhere. I remember I just kind of held my hands out, and I felt like I was literally holding the storm in the palm of my hands. And electricity and beads of white diamonds just flowing around me. And when I was playing it, I had the same imagery in my head. I was right back there in that moment. And
Now,
it's definitely a good song. Like I said, I think I want to work it into some kind of album to follow up the debut, the Space Dust Surfer album. Anyway.
but that was something that, you know, Picasso may have a moment like that. If I can be ambiguous and bold and just overstate something.
Mm-hmm.
Think about a painter
Mm-hmm.
that actually did a Mona Lisa,
Mm-hmm.
a real deal.
Mm-hmm.
He knows it's the real deal, and he's got one commissioned.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he's going to turn in this masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how he feels walking up, taking that painting to the client.
Mm-hmm.
He knows he's going to love it
Mm-hmm.
because you put your heart into it.
Mm-hmm.
And they do love it because you knew it's exactly what he wanted.
Yeah.
You express yourself and they love it. That's what that song was, because we both saw, to be blunt, we both saw that we should not leave our fingers limp.
Mm-hmm.
Thunder will do that to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to get you to put thunder into a song.
Mm-hmm.
That was after Fresco, wasn't it?
Before it.
Was it before?
Mm-hmm.
And then,
I responded finally with
so it was like 8 hours of wide open collaboration with the whole universe, and they wrote the song for us. That's how we look at it.
Yeah.
So thank you, universe. It was a beautiful song.
Yeah, it was pretty groovy.
We hope
And
it just fit.
I mean, you definitely helped me a lot creatively.
No, you need a name for him. I was like, Fresco, man. That's what it should be called. It shouldn't be called anything else.
Yeah.
And I was using it, or it had rights to that name from higher authority, had rights to that name, and he gave it to you,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because You should have had it. Anyway, that's another story. The fresco was what it should be called. You asked me what to call it. That's what we were seeing. You were seeing the fresco, and I guess you were getting that idea to me. And so it's like fresco is the only thing it could be called.
Yeah. 15 minutes.
All right, so play them something that, like I said, you walked in the room, you was playing something, either tuning your guitar, but it sounded really good. But just you had it on some. You said it. I said, "Is that something like fresco?" You went, "It's different." Remember what you was doing?
I mean, no, that's just another thing I've been working on. It's just a recording.
Just give us a hint.
I don't remember what I was doing.
Play
I
something.
told you, I forgot I recorded.
Notes. Make him play music when you can't think of a question. This is still business. I still got to interview this guy. Very nice. What was that? Just something you just cooked up on the fly?
Yeah, it's just.
The guy that writes my paycheck is gonna 3 questions. And I have to talk about these 3 songs because you got the big album you did, Space Dust Surfer, which is big.
Yeah.
We wanted to talk about that, and we did talk about Fresco, but we did not talk about Forest.
Forest Dance.
Forest Dance,
I mean,
and
Forest Dance is really not that special. It's just.
but we might want to give them a little of that at some point before you leave.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to stop right here
Uh-huh.
for Endless Adventure Studio 8 for a commercial break, and I'll be right back. And Space Dust Surfer is doing what he does.